Hello, kindred spirits. I thought today I would share with you how I did a no-sew project of taking 2 pairs of window treatment panels and making them 3 for this guest bedroom that I then decorated for Christmas, and how I make my butterscotch rolls. I've made these my whole life, as my mother did, and I'm going to share how I was duped by these persimmons. So, nice mess I have going here. Some of you may not realize that this was used as our master bedroom when we first purchased the home, because the bedroom we're in right now was an apartment and a kitchen. So we did that. This was the previous owner's living room. They had a TV here on the wall, a sofa, because this was a 2-family. But in the past, this would have been somebody's bedroom or sitting room with their fireplace. So we made it our guest bedroom. At one point, we discussed Ben having his office in here, but I ended up deciding to keep it as a guest bedroom, and we have our rowing machine in here, and I'll show you that in a moment. We didn't have any other place for it, but I'm just folding up my window treatments just to carry them into the other room. Luckily, all these are not interlined, so it's going to be really easy just to fold these, cut them, and use the hem tape. Got to make sure the heads are facing upward on my toile here. On the wall here, I still have some of the paint samples I was going to do for Ben's office. We were going with a nice, deep, rich burgundy, but decided, once again, this is going to remain our guest bedroom, and it has been used by family members when they come for the holidays. But over here is our new hydro rowing machine and some of my wall art here that's going to be either going on consignment or back in the attic. But I enjoy sitting here rowing, looking out the window, and the other day it was snowing, the Christmas light was on. It was just really a nice thing. So we've been enjoying this. So I'm going to grab a ladder to get these 2 down. Well, I know this is an odd location of creating a video, but believe it or not, I just got a new ironing board. I haven't had one in the house for over 2 years. I broke the other one when we moved here, and I've been using tabletop, counter, you name it. So I finally ordered a new one, it just arrived. I thought I would set it up here in our bedroom. I get to look outside, enjoy the field behind us. In front of me, I'm looking right out at our beautiful birch tree. It's moving in the wind right now, so this should be a little relaxing for me, should be. And I figured I'd do this project. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm just giving it a nice seam so I can cut along it, and then I'm going to put a hem. This isn't going to be rocket science. I'm just doing this as, like I said, some temporary fixes for the window treatments. These are country curtain panels that were once hanging in the master bedroom of my mother's house when we designed her home. And when she moved, she didn't need these, so then they hung in our cabin in Maine. When we sold that, I brought them home here, and I now use this pattern in our guest bedroom. So I'm just going to make a seam here. Probably just do it this angle. Right now I'm not trying to get out any wrinkles, but What I'm doing now is I'm just going to follow that ironed crease, which gave me a nice straight line to follow. And I think I mentioned before, this side that I'm cutting will be the one going against the wall. And the two edges that were done by the manufacturer will be the lead edges on the inside. And at one point I was thinking it might be fun to find a really nice trim. Now, I was realizing while I was working on these that in my own home, I've always either made my own window treatments, which from a distance look okay, but they are certainly not lined, interlined, have the nice thick bump that I would do for other clients. But they are a little bit very casual. And I've done window treatments for clients that have ranged from $1,000 a panel up to $5,000 a panel, depending on the fabric. A lot of times my clients would do really beautiful silks, and trims a lot of times are more expensive than the fabric. And then the labor to make them is factored into that price, as is installation, which is another cost. It is always beneficial to have a great installer put up your window treatments, especially if you do not have rods already. A lot of times you'll have to put in extra brackets, and it's just nice having a contractor who is well versed at hanging window treatments, especially in crooked homes, like old homes that I'm used to working in. Let's see. I didn't seam, of course, I didn't press up top here, but I'm just gonna do a nice straight cut through. There we go. All right, one panel becomes two. All right, so I'm just folding this over. The webbing is inside there. You want to have your iron on steam. And I'm just going to go slowly, bonding the two pieces together. That webbing is actually melting right now, and fusing the two. Now you'll want to read manufacturer's directions on the type of fabric this is good on, but this is a nice cotton fabric that I'm using, working really well. Of course, I'm seeing I didn't do my nails. That's all right. I think what I'll just do is press this inside. Just in that top ruffle, I'm going to fuse it together up here. Just going to push a piece in. And just melt it. Fantastic. I'm really pleased how they came out. Now I do need to move the bracket on the rod. I believe the previous owner must have had rings on their window treatments because the window treatment does not go out far enough. So I do need to change that. But I did add a little holiday chair with a Noel pillow here. I put a wreath over the fireplace, and this is just for Ben and I to enjoy when we're rowing. I don't expect to have any family over for Christmas, but if it happens, this guest bedroom is ready for them and waiting. Do need to add a little more artwork in here, but that's down the road. In this view of the room here, you're going to see what the drapery rod issue is that I'm talking about. The panels are hitting the bracket, so I do need to move those out a bit. Unfortunately, these walls are rock hard, and I'm pretty much done for the day. I want to get these up, and when I have a burst of energy, I will go back and tackle that. And I mentioned I had fairies in every room. This is the fairy in our guest bedroom. I like to use Bisquick, but you can really use any pancake baking mix that you can find. And I don't even follow a recipe, but what I like to do is take my powdered mix, I add milk, and I add some vanilla until I have a nice soft dough consistency that's not too sticky, and you just want it to be able to roll out easy enough. I like to start with my dough in an oblong shape because I'm going to roll this out to be more so like a rectangle. And you're going to see that I even do a little trimming just so that when I roll it up, it already has a nice straight edge. Now I'm going to spread melted butter all over the pastry dough here, and the reason for this is to adhere a lot of brown sugar. So my sister and I always had a competition who made the best butterscotch rolls, and I have to say I always won because I used a lot of butter. I think even in this one I use less butter than usual, so more butter is better. Now the other thing that always helped me win the butterscotch roll competition was I also use a lot of brown sugar. You know, you're trying to make a butterscotch here, so a lot of butter, a lot of sugar, and a glass of wine always helps. Now it's time to roll them up, and I'm going to try to do this nice and tight because then I'm going to be cutting them in about a 1.5 inch thick circles. You might see a little movement here in the video. My husband just showed up. Whenever I'm baking, and if he has time, he usually sits with me in the kitchen. We enjoy our wine together and chat and catch up because he does work from home a lot right now, so it's a nice quiet time for us. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually just, spreading the roll out just a little bit more, trying to make it uniform, and then I will start cutting out the rolls. This process does make a mess, so I do like to clean up a little bit before I get started with the cutting. I certainly make sure to save the ends, and any that are a little wonky, those are the ones we get to enjoy with a cup of coffee either right after they come out of the oven or the next morning before these are served at our holiday meal. And let's be real, this is why my husband showed up in the kitchen, not just to visit with me and have a glass of wine, but he knew these were in the oven. I don't like to admit this, but I've been duped by persimmons. Do you remember in one of my videos I showed you these 2 cute persimmons and I told you I was going to cut them open, look at the seeds, and help predict the weather like my daughter and I have done every year after we learned about it in the Farmer's Almanac. And what you do is you cut them open, there's usually seeds, and if it has like a spoon shape inside of the seed, you know there's going to be a lot of snow. If it's thin, there's not. Well, I cut these open and you can see me. I'm actually like, wait a minute, what? Wait, there's no seeds here? So I keep cutting and cutting, and I know they would be visually shown right there. I mean, I just kept going at this fruit saying, wait a minute, where are the seeds? I have never had this happen to me before. Then something occurred to me thinking, okay, they now make so many seedless items, maybe they've produced a seedless persimmon, and I googled it, and yes, I happened to find seedless persimmons.
So off I went again to another store. I actually went to several stores. I tried Whole Foods and I got a little excited. These are organic. It doesn't say seedless. I grabbed these persimmons and I was all excited to get back home because I promised you I was going to cut into persimmons and show you. Once again, no seeds. So now that there's a major storm outside, let's just assume that there would be spoons inside of the seeds. On a side note, I'd like to mention a little bit about our past magazines that are still available in limited quantity. It was so well received and it was a success, but unfortunately I had to stop it with my health issues and it was so time consuming. That said, every once in a while I get the inkling to start another issue or maybe a coffee table book. I would love your input. Would you rather read a seasonal magazine or possibly a seasonal coffee table book? You know me, my mind is always spinning, and I do every once in a while feel the urge to start up again. Now, depending on when you're seeing this, I do still have a group of 4 issues of our past magazine available. I cannot guarantee you would have it for Christmas depending on when you place an order, but they do go out priority mail, so if you place it very soon, you might have it in time to give it as a gift, or if you'd like to order it for yourself, it would be something to enjoy going into the new year. Now I'd love to show you how I make an easy and delicious butterscotch recipe that I make every holiday.